Hello there, friends, and welcome to the virtual show, your source for late night VR talk. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots.
How's it going?
What's up, buddy? And my good friend Eric. How's it going, gentlemen?
Good. What's going on, guys?
Hey, I'm questioning Mash. I don't know for sure, but are we wearing matching shirts?
Oh, we might be. Did? Oh no, I'm not.
Oh
Damn
man, dude, what are you doing, Mash? I thought for sure we had this.
Damn. Shit.
Oh, and I'm Oculus Quest 2 grouping it, bro.
Oh man, that was an opportunity and I missed it.
So this was the shirt that I had on. Maybe it was during our last episode or the one before. Hot merch available through the Quest 2 community. Big thanks to Eric for sending those shirts over. I was going to buy one, bro. And then even when after like you talked me out of it because you were going to send me one anyway, wife was going to buy me one, and then I had to tell her I had one on the way.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, we need to get some for virtual strangers. And one thing that I will say about this shirt is I noticed, guy, because I washed it and just got it out. Really nice material, right? Like very good cloth. Feels good. It feels like good quality material. That's good.
Super nice, and what you're saying is true. We are going to do merch, and I'm hoping that we get into that this year. I've got some cool ideas for that. Roots we will talk about off the air, but I think Eric's going to have his generosity repaid in short order with super cool brand new virtual strangers merch.
Hell yeah.
And you know, lots of cool stuff incoming, and you guys should know. You should start seeing this stuff within the next couple of weeks. We'll just say that.
Chat is saying that we are low in volume and Eric is boosted volume wise, which I see mine is like severely loud. I'm actually feeling like I'm a little louder than I should be as far as the meter goes. I don't know about you guys, but
Well, check. I'll turn my microphone up on my end a little here and see if that helps. Maybe Eric's just a little loud. Maybe I don't know.
I've had about 3 cups of coffee tonight because it's 1:30 in a.m. in my time, so it could be me. Very possible.
It could
Yeah,
be.
knock that slider down a little bit, Roots, and I'll just turn my mic up a little bit to kind of compensate for it, and we'll see how that goes.
Now it's really loud in my ear.
Yeah, it's loud.
You guys try to burst my eardrums. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Well, let me ask you this, Eric. Do you have like a knob on your microphone?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, why don't you turn yours down? Roots, pull the slider back up on yours. I'll turn mine back down.
Yeah, I didn't touch mine. Okay.
Well, I mean the slider in OBS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got your slider back.
Okay.
Yeah, I went down a notch on my mic, guys.
Wow.
Okay.
I just watched I watched his thing peg all the way to the red.
Yeah, I saw it too. Okay, well, we'll just kind of wing it, and we might have you knock it back a little bit more, Eric, as we go. If you continue to push up into the red.
You know who else likes to knock it back?
My mom.
Oh, yes,
I do. Hey, man, how about this crew in the chat at 1:30 in the a.m.? I mean,
hardcores.
Yeah, I think I'm conditioning them, Roots. They're staying up late to watch my streams, and now their sleep's all out of whack.
These are the strangers. These are the hardcore strangers.
The night strangers.
The night strangers. Not to take away from all you daytime strangers out there while listening to this tomorrow. So,
but I definitely see a few of my my stream goers in the chat. Dark Angel's in the house, as is Wolverasa. What's up, Roy Schwartz? And Acid X is here. Techno Glitch, Onakazi. I mean, we got a little crew up. I guess these people want to know whether or not they should buy this shit we're talking about, right?
Yeah, Scion's up late. That's usually Scion's in bed about this time, right?
Yeah.
It's getting close. It's getting close to Sion's bedtime, and I guarantee when we start talking about zombies, he's going to tune out.
He's already getting his pillow fluffed up.
Yeah, well, the good thing is we're going to be starting with that. Ray Pope throwing out 20 Aussie dollars. Have a great show, lads. Finally get to see another live one.
Well, thank you, Ray, for the support. It's very much appreciated, and
Yeah,
we're very
for
happy
sure.
to have you here live for once, dude. We've got a show tonight, dude, and like we've got two very highly anticipated releases that we get to talk about that are going to drop tomorrow, or I guess technically today at this point. And then we've got another awesome Synth Riders pack that we get to detail for the people, and that's not to mention. I mean, we've got other stuff that we didn't even get to for the episode. I guess tomorrow we'll probably have a Clash of Chefs video up. I'm probably going to just do a gameplay of that one. Since it's a co-op game, a party game, I think a gameplay would display that game best. So if one of you kind gentlemen want to join me for a little friendly competition in the restaurant, we can do that tomorrow.
Yeah, be cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Traveling Man 3775 fell asleep last night on you, Wes. Your voice is too soothing. Yeah, well, you missed out, man, because I broke out into a song as I often do. Last night we did our rendition of "I'm Too Sexy" on the actual catwalk from Hitman 3. So, like, literally, there's a well, I mean, without setting it up too much, there are different paths that you can take to achieve your mission in each one of the levels of Hitman. And the level I was on last night was a fashion show, and I ended up impersonating one of the models. And before I could finish the job, I had to walk the catwalk.
Uh-oh.
And it was very entertaining. And those of you who are watching it know what I'm talking about. And those of you who weren't, what are you doing? Why are you sleeping for? Good shit's happening on the Virtual Strangers channel.
Is there any part of you that wishes that, because I'm assuming so late and usually you don't have a camera on, that you had camera. I would love to watch that with you on the camera on as well, because then you got to do the catwalk in real life and on the game, and that would be fun to watch.
It would totally break in that game though, because it's Hitman 3 and it's a dual shot game. And let me tell you, if you don't get your friggin' camera in the right spot, perfect, you're gonna have problems with it. But we ended up getting it ironed out during my second stream. There was 2 streams last night because I had a personal emergency. I had to step away for like an hour. But when I came back on, before I went back on live, I made sure to move my camera down like close to me, and it fixed it. Thank God.
Did you pick up the? I saw that it was on sale. What was the Game of the Year edition for Hitman 1? You probably already own it.
Yeah, I bought all. I got all of them when I picked up Hitman 3.
So I got the second one for free, right, with the PlayStation Plus, and the first one on sale, I think, till tomorrow, 24th or 25th or something, or maybe it's the 23rd. But you could get it. It's like $15 for the Game of the Year edition. I guess I'm telling you, Mash. And then you can play all 3 of the games in VR, it updated with the new engine. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing when I get my PlayStation VR going.
Yeah, I picked up the free one with my PlayStation Plus, and I just bought today the Hitman 1. So I am
nice.
good to go. I'm just going to need to purchase Hitman 3 so I can run all of them in VR, and I'll be good to go.
You don't own Hitman 3? That's the main one, dude. And that's what, $30?
Yeah, I'll wait for it. I'll catch it on sale, and then I'll do them all.
Let me tell you, it's been on sale. I don't know if it still is.
Yeah, it's been on sale.
It's normally $60. It's been on sale for $35 for like a week or 2 now.
Mash.
Black Friday,
doing, bro?
$14.99 Black Friday sale.
Oh shit! Ain't gonna be no Black Friday sale.
Don't hold your breath on that one, buddy. It is still on sale. At $30, $30 even right now,
Half
half
price.
off.
You're not gonna get any cheaper than that.
I'm gonna wait till Saturday on the Killer Deal show, and then I'll buy
I don't know if it'll be on sale anymore, bro.
it.
It's been on
That's a
sale
good
for
question.
weeks, right? I think it's almost
It
over.
should. It should be. If it hasn't changed over already, typically the PlayStation sales turn over on Tuesday. So um, it should be good for another week if it isn't hasn't changed yet.
Yeah. Hey, Ray Pope says that he's thinking that you should do the "Hills Are Alive with the Sound of Music" song next time you stream.
Yes.
Hey, well,
This-
now look, let me say this. I sing a lot during my streams, not prolonged, but when I say a lot, I mean frequently. Most of my streams, you'll get a few bars out of me, but none of it's ever planned. It's always spontaneous. It just the music hits me and it takes me, and I'm a vessel, guys. It just comes through me, and you know who loves it when things come through them?
My mom!
Oh yeah, she does.
She's crazy.
Quick pro tip for you two as you begin your adventure into Hitman 3. I'm sure you're going to do like I do, and you're going to want to start with the first one and move all the way through. It isn't just as easy as owning the first two to get it into the third game. You actually, what happens is by owning Hitman 1 and Hitman 2, it allows you to pick up free DLC, which puts the games into Hitman 3. So it doesn't just automatically populate with the levels. You have to go into the PlayStation Store. You might even be able to do it from the main menu of the game and pick up the DLC to be able to play it in Hitman 3.
Cool.
Anyways, that's enough Hitman. Let's talk a little Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, man. It wasn't that long ago that we, or that I rather, finished this game in anticipation for the Aftershocks DLC that we have known for months now that this was coming. Of course, we would like to thank our friends at Skydance Interactive for providing the three of us with early access to Aftershocks. We've had this thing for about a week now, maybe a little bit longer than that, maybe close to 2 weeks now. And well, I mean, I guess we need to set this up with expectations. Roots, what were your expectations for Aftershocks before you played it, going into it? What were you hoping that this would be?
Well, I was hoping it was going to be an extension of story, like more story, more maybe more I want Henri comes back. He's my friend again. Never really died. He was just pretending. That would be cool. He was still hanging there, Wes. That was cool. I couldn't believe it. He was still hanging. But yeah, I wanted a little bit more. I wanted more of what made the game amazing, which was the story. What I didn't expect was it to be so fucking hard, man. Like these guys, there's so much shit in there. There's not zombies everywhere. The people on point. Like I forgotten how smart the AI was. I'm hiding behind a corner and they're like, I see you, and I'm like, fuck, man, god damn it, and I'm running around the corner. And it was crazy.
Yeah, so basically, you were hoping that this would be an extension of the tourist story. That what happens after the events of the reserve. Eric, what about you? What were your expectations for this DLC?
Yeah, I was exactly that. I was thinking it was going to be more story. Pick up right where you left off from the first one, and maybe just have some new missions, but have it go along with the story that has already been told. So
Right, maybe some friction between you and the tower, or you and
the Reclaimed, yeah.
the Reclaimed, based upon your your actions at the end of the story campaign.
Yeah, for sure. It was such a good story the first time through that you're just hoping, because it was so good, and so you want more. I want to hear more about the two factions and what's going on with them, and um, I don't know. It's probably a little harder to do because everybody's story is a little different, right? Because it
Right.
depends on it depends on your playthrough. Like, my playthrough is not going to be the same as yours or Roots because our actions in game will change our outcome. Like you know, uh, May Benoit was alive at the end of mine, where she might have been dead at the end of Roots or yours, and she was still alive at the end of mine. Um, but
Or she could be dead at the beginning. Like you can
yeah,
kill her right off the bat.
yeah, you sure can. That's what's great about this game. I mean, your decisions that you make early on can affect the end game, which is amazing.
Absolutely. So extreme variability in this story, and that's what makes it's one of the things that makes this game so great. It was one of the reasons why we named it the game of the year last year, because it's so versatile in terms of its storytelling. And like you two, when I first learned about Aftershocks, that was the hope, right? Well, I'll take that back. The top hope was that this was going to be some kind of a multiplayer thing, but we learned fairly quickly that this was not going to bring co-op multiplayer into the fray. So then it goes to, well, hopefully this is an extension of the tourist story. And, I held those hopes for some time until, I don't know, maybe a month ago. I reached out and asked if your decisions at the end of the story campaign affect aftershocks at all. So, like, if I were to take the side of the tower, will the reclaimed hold it against me, or vice versa? If I took the side of the reclaim, will the tower hold it against me? And I was told, no, that is not the case. And at that point, I adjusted my expectations a little bit because if you're going to continue the tourist story, then that would have to be how it took place, right? You couldn't just make a generic storyline, a one size fits all. You'd have to be the best storyteller in the world to come up with something that would fit no matter what your choices were. So I kind of knew that that this wasn't going to be like a story DLC. Um, but that doesn't change the fact that that's kind of what everybody was hoping for here. Now, with that said, we've said it a million times that expectations or speculation leads to expectation leads to disappointment. So we try to put that out of our minds and just kind of judge the new content on what it is. And what it is pretty awesome. And the reason why is because I played through the story in 3 or 4 sittings recently, and did fairly well. I didn't spend an uh, extraordinary amount of time progressing the character and progressing all the weapons and abilities. I just basically played my way through the story, and by the time I really got to unlock all the really cool tools and weapons and abilities, or some of them, I didn't unlock all of them. Or just when I started to get into the upper echelon of being able to have cool stuff to use, the game ended, and there was nothing else left to do. Now there's something left to do, and if I could describe Aftershocks as anything, it's that. It's something more to do. It's a reason to go back in what was already one of the best VR games of all time. And I got to say, for an extra, free 4 to 6 hours of basically looting missions, I'm very appreciative that I have it now uh, because just what I just said. I'm not done with this game yet, and I'm glad now that I have a reason to spend more time in it. Roots, how did you feel about what basically amounts to a collection of looting missions?
I had my fun during it. I mean, I like I said, I I went in. I was gonna record something for the Patreon, which I am gonna upload. It's only like 30 minutes of me just nonsensically going through this 30 minutes, but that's what you're paying for is the extra stuff, right? But I was just really trying to get the footage and just check it out, and I really enjoyed it. I actually did find it challenging. I was kicking myself for not actually paying more attention to what I took with me, because I took guns, but I didn't pay attention that there was no ammo in it. So there was no way I was going up against any of these humans, and every time I tried, I got my ass handed to me, and then I was trying to get my weapons back. It was challenging. I felt like the original game was a lot of times was just like you could go through, and you didn't really have to think too much of what you were where you were going. You could just go through, and I could balls to the walls and just killing people. But I died a lot in this, and I had a lot of fun. So
So it deserves to be noted here that we experienced a beta version of Aftershocks. We have not played the release version, and there is going to be a day one update as soon as it launches tomorrow. But with this beta version, we were not able to continue from our previous game saves. It kind of started us with a generic game save. Um, did you use that, Roots? The game save that I used was like had a well stocked inventory with everything unlocked on all the tables. Was that like that for you?
yeah, it was all there. I just, like I said, I grabbed some cool knives. I grabbed the cool machetes. I grabbed a machine gun. I grabbed a couple pistol, some knives and stuff. And I just didn't have any ammo for anything.
You forgot to craft ammo for it, huh?
Yeah, so I got one, and I was like, I'm not even gonna craft jack crap, dude, because I'm just go out there. I got these badass blades, right? I wasn't expecting fully armed militia everywhere I turn, factions everywhere. But it was that was the difference. Is like, and I did try to go up against. I got usually took 2 or 3 down before they put enough bullets in to kill me, but it was cool because there was, like I said, there was action everywhere, tripwires everywhere. Gamer chick said she was holding her breath because I was for a long time. I'm like, can I hit this? Can I cut this? And spoiler alert, I do actually try one here in a little bit, because I said, you know what, I need to know. And then I found out that my face got exploded and I died.
So Eric, one of the cooler things about the update for me was the fact that the maps are remixed. We've had different factions move into every area of the city, and they have moved around cars. They've set traps everywhere, and obviously you're starting a month into the apocalypse here, so there's walkers everywhere to boot. Um, I think what Roots says will hold some validity once we get into it from our original saves. I think it will be much more difficult, but that's one of the things I really appreciated about this. It's kind of like I don't know, it's like a new game plus without a story, right? It's a little more difficult, but at the same time, it's a bit more rewarding because the maps are different. There's people everywhere, and one of the best things about it is now that the maps are a little more difficult to navigate, they finally paid us a little bit of mercy, and we don't have to worry about time limit. We can spend as long as we want in exploring these maps. You can look through every building, and you don't have to worry about getting back to the skiff before your watch goes off. So that was actually probably my favorite thing about this is not only are the maps reworked, but I can really now explore them fully where I wasn't able to before.
Yeah, I mean, the difficulty is extremely ramped up on this. I mean, we did start with pretty much the whole arsenal, right? We started with an arsenal you should almost have probably at the end of your playthrough. Maybe we had a little bit more, but because pretty much I think you have every weapon open except for some of the special ones you got to find along the way. Normally you don't have open, but pretty much all the normal stuff you have open. But you're going to need it because number one, the factions that are out there's a lot of them. They are running patrols all over the place, and they're smart. They hear everything. If you have a knife out and you hit your knife against a car or a building, they're going to hear it if they're close enough, and they're going to come looking for you. They're heavily armed, and a couple of shots and you're dead. So it doesn't take much. And here's what I found out, because I got to one point where as you get later in the aftershocks, it's not just to let me go into this map and look around and find out where the loot is or what I need to find, where the cache is that I need to find, because there's puzzles later on, and the puzzles get hard. And I got stuck on a puzzle, and I was in the map for a long time. So yes, you don't have a time limit anymore. But what happens is, as the longer you're in the map, and the more that the other factions fire weapons and guns, even though you're killing walkers along the way, you'll turn a street and all of a sudden there'll be triple the walkers that were there when you first started. So now all of a sudden you've already had to fight your way through this map for however long, half hour, 40 minutes. So you're already low on ammo or low on health, and now you have about triple the walkers around that you used to, and you're trying to find stuff. You're trying to figure stuff out. Because again, it's not just an easy let me go fetch quest. It's not. I got into a puzzle later on where you had to, and I don't want to spoil anything, but you had to use symbols to find things, and it was very, very cool. And I was the same way when I got into it. I was a little disappointed that the story wasn't a cohesive, continuation of a story. But once I got into it, the individual stories were pretty cool for each mission, and the challenge of it hooked me up. I was hooked, and by the time I got to my second or third mission in, I was completely hooked, and I love it. And there's different stuff in this time. There's different mechanics that you have to use about halfway through, or maybe a little less than halfway through, that are going to make it feel different. And there's different walkers out there too that you maybe haven't seen yet.
Yeah. So with what you're saying about the longer you hang out, the more walkers show up. It's cool because it makes sense. You have these factions, these real life people that either you're fighting or fighting each other. Uh, but what you don't always consider is they're killing each other. And after those bodies lay on the ground for about 5-10 minutes, guess what happens? They reanimate and they become walkers. And the thing about it is, it's not just that you have more walkers to deal with. Now you have walkers that are wearing armor, that are wearing helmets, and you have to kind of be careful how you deal with them. And I got to imagine that that would be even more so the case if you're playing on your own game save and you don't have unlimited ammo to deal with these things. So what you're saying there is absolutely true, and it's absolutely cool because this should be more difficult. This is additional content for those who have already finished the story campaign. You're expecting the player to be sort of an expert at this point, and it makes all the sense in the world for it to be a bit more difficult. Roots, I didn't play all the way through this. I didn't play very deep into it at all because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. Like I said, we were playing with this generic save, which is kind of God mode if you want to if you want to take advantage of all the stuff they give you. It's pretty much unlimited resources for enough to do you for quite some time. Um, and I wanted to loot these areas and play through these missions on my own save. So after a couple of hours of time in it, and when I felt like I had a pretty good grasp on what I was seeing here, I quit playing because I want to do it on my own save. I want these caches that I find, these loot stores, to mean something to me. I mean, if you already have a full box of inventory, I mean, what's this loot? It's just more. But on my save where I don't have so much, now this is everything, right? Now I can really progress things the way that I want to. So I actually didn't play quite as deep as Eric did because I want to do it on my own save. How far did you make it? You didn't make it very far either, did you?
No, I didn't go as far. I didn't want to. I didn't want to be, shallow like Eric and go deep. No, just kidding. I like you said, I wanted to experience it on mine. Plus, I had weird issues with and I think it was certain games don't like my overclock on my video card. So, but I had crashing issues for a while, and so I was trying to mess with that. And at some point, I just wanted to get in there and explore, check things out. and die from these guys.
Mhm.
But I definitely am looking forward to getting in there with the actual game and like you said, progressing my character and just unlocking everything. There's so many things I didn't unlock the first time around. So many weapons I never tried, right? So
I'm
Yeah,
not
and one
sure.
of the
I was gonna say I'm just not sure if it was your overclock because I did. Now I played the Quest version, and we are playing again on the beta. It's not the final version of the OC, but I had 3 crashes
oh,
during my
okay.
playthroughs. So, and I
yeah,
was playing on the I was playing on the Quest standalone Quest.
Okay.
I did not experience any crashes, although I did have a couple of other issues. But they said that up front. It's a beta version that
Yep.
there are known issues that are going to be patched out at launch. So I didn't really hold any of that stuff against them, as they were pretty upfront about it. Um, I lost my train of thought where I was going with it.
Mhm.
All right.
That was my fault.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all your fault. Um, no. So let me try to
Well,
recapture
while you're
my line of
thinking of
thinking.
that, Gamer Chick says that the nice thing is, Wes, you don't even have to progress the Aftershocks missions if you don't want to. You can go to the other maps and continue crafting and upgrading your recipes. I'm assuming you could do that, and then once you get enough stuff, you can go into the Aftershock stuff, right?
Yeah, and
Yes.
one of the cool things that I noticed about this is some of the recipes and things that you didn't find during the story campaign uh, have been looted, and now they reside with some of uh, the factions that you will be encountering during the aftershocks missions. So you'll be in a gunfight, just trying to get through to the other side of the map, and you'll kill somebody and notice that they dropped something. You'll go pick it up, and it's one of the recipes that would have been hidden in the map somewhere during the game, but now you have it just because you killed some asshole. So I found that to be extremely cool, and it seems like they set this aftershocks thing up just so that you can progress a little more quickly with regards to unlocking everything, which I appreciate. And I also appreciate what Gamerchick just said, that you don't have to, you can go at your own pace, right? What I am curious about is, and I'm sure it is the case, if I don't go that route, if I don't pursue the aftershocks missions right off the bat, and I do decide to go and just explore the maps on my own, uh, it's unlimited time still, right? No matter where you go, you can fully explore every map, free from the worry of that bell going off and getting stuck. And when it comes to some of these maps, like for example, the one there's a high school in one of these maps, and that it's just huge corridors and corridors of rooms and
Mhm.
lockers and desks, and I mean it goes on for days. I always lamented the fact that I didn't really have time to uh, to explore that fully. I didn't even have a chance to see half of it. Now I can go through all in one sweep and really see what's in there, and I just love that because one of my favorite things about this game is just how much exploration there is, involved with it outside of the story. So, I mean, as great as the story elements are of this, there are so many other great aspects to this game that this DLC really shows its worth pretty quickly, uh, in spite of the lack of a like overarching story.
Yeah. Yeah, and channel 47 is still active. So channel 47, which gives you your some of your, it tells you where the reclaimed or the tower are hiding caches. So you can go to the different areas around on side missions to try and get some supplies. Which I did. I did a couple of those in West. I don't remember having a clock. Um,
Yeah, I don't
so
think it
yeah.
wouldn't make sense for certain areas to have it and others not to. So,
Yeah, but even
um,
those areas are harder than it was the last time. Again, as again, you're farther into it. You said you're starting from 30 some days already in. So even those, even though they're not part of the the storyline, there's just a side mission to get loot. They're harder to get, but I will say that it seems like the loot that you get is better this time. Like when you find one of these loot caches, last time you would find a couple of items, maybe a revolver, maybe a couple of those little tool kits that have just the different machinery bits and stuff in it for you to have. Now you'll find a chest that's got food and it's got bombs, and it's got weapons, and it's got a ton of ammo. I mean, it seems like the payoff on some of these is much more than it was last time. I think they have to do that because the difficulty is ramped up so high.
Right. They exactly. They want you to be able to pretty much unlock everything quickly after you get into this, so that by the time, say, you're halfway through the new content, you've pretty much unlocked everything, and now it's it's the home stretch. So let's polish it off in style.
Yeah.
Anyway, you know, I'm trying to really think of it if there's anything else there is to say about this. There's really, if you've played this game, uh, you know what you're getting here. It's more to do. It's another reason to get back in this game. So if you're someone like me who finished the game before you were finished with the game, now you have something to do rather than before when you could go back in, but it was just, you know, there was no direction to it. You were basically just looting for looting's sake. Now you have direction. And on top of that, you have, again, remixed maps. You have people everywhere. You have an increased difficulty level. There's traps all over the place. It's something I'm really grateful for. And it makes me excited for the future because these guys have already come out and said that this is just the beginning for what their plans are for this game and this franchise. And it was already, you know, one of, if not the best game in VR. And it just got better for free. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, that's free. That's one thing we got to remember. This is all free. I mean, so whatever you're getting here, you're not paying for anything extra. So whatever expectations you have going in, they could have easily charged $9.99 for this, or $15.99 easily. I mean, you're getting another 6, possibly 7, 8 hours of play. Um, depending on how you play it. More if you go and do all the side missions that can still be done. So if you keep that in mind, that this is free down, you don't have to pay a dime for it. There's a lot here for free.
Yeah, exactly. They basically, again, when you pay $35 for a game or whatever the retail price of it is, when you finish it, you want to feel like, okay, now you want to feel conclusion. You want to feel like you're done with it. And that's not the feeling that I had. I feel like I was just getting started and the game's ended. So now they have come back, they have rectified that. And I have a feeling that by the time we get through all of this content, we're going to be ready for the sequel
Yeah,
and,
really.
and ready to move on. Uh, Roots, we've pretty much, covered everything about this except for the one major negative thing that I have to say about it. And I was excited and hopeful when I heard there were new tools coming, and then I heard it was a flashlight. That the new tool, spoiler alert, has something to do with the flashlight. Uh, Roots, were you as disappointed as I was that you still have to shake this damn flashlight every 5 minutes if you want to be able to see in this game? I never liked the flashlight. I still don't like the flashlight. I wish we could just get a normal one for God's sake, but I get why it's like it is. It is the apocalypse after all.
Yeah. Yeah, because the only flashlight you can find in an apocalypse is one you have to shake every so often. I think it could be a good option to turn off, just like everything else. But at the same time, I razz Wolveraza for wanting to turn off the stamina and tell him it's part of the game. So I guess I should suck up the light, shaking up the light as well. One of the things that it's been a while since I've been in this game. I haven't been playing it as much as you, but I was blown away again, Wes, at how good I just like was looking at the artwork on the buildings and just like really taking in the atmosphere, and was blown away at just how good this game looked. Even the zombie models, and I was saying in my video that uh, even to the Patreon people that you know, people will say this game, the people look cartoony or the zombies look cartoony, but not when you're in there and not when they're in your face.
It's
And it
highly detailed, isn't it?
very detailed, and it's just a very very well done game. And I just think anybody that hasn't tried it, I don't know what rock you crawled under or out from under, but you definitely should pick this game up.
Can you
Sure.
imagine being the person who hasn't played this game yet or is just new to VR, and now you get this whole game as your first playthrough? You get you get the regular game plus you get Aftershocks all new right from the start. You know what I mean? That's an amazing thing. And I actually only played this game through on the Rift version, the Rift Store version, and the Steam version. So I never played the Quest version. And I did play the Quest version all the way through this time. I didn't play anything else but the Quest version. And and I have to say, I'm extremely impressed what they do with this. I mean, I've gone in and looked at it before, but I've actually never done the actual gameplay. I've just gone in and looked around and just to compare. But playing through the whole thing now, it's amazing. You know, and again, there are some assets that are missing here and there, but the textures, the lighting, a lot of that's the same. You get the same feel, and quickly you forget once you're in there, you forget. I mean, and now I'm looking at Roots' video. I'm like, yeah, okay, it does look better there. But you forget it so quickly once you're in there and you're just playing and you're just like running for your life, and everything still looks so good that you don't care that you're on a standalone quest. I don't. If had nothing but the quest, I wouldn't envy a PC VR player with this game. I wouldn't, because I'd be happy with what I had.
Yeah, I constantly refer to this as easily the best game on Quest, especially on Quest 2. I mean, what you're saying here is absolutely true. You don't feel like you're missing out on anything when you're playing this on the Quest 2. And it's technical wizardry, and these people have a lot to be proud of when it comes to what they've been able to accomplish, not only with the standalone Quest 2 version, but the PlayStation VR version as well. Uh, Both are really they're technical achievements, and that's why I always say, even even on PlayStation, when people are talking about the best games for PlayStation, uh, I'll say that, well, maybe it's not my favorite game, maybe it's my second favorite game, but it 100% is the best game. Uh, from all perspectives, all things considered, whether it be the story variability or the production value, the survival and progression of it, or the overall replayability, this game is a masterpiece. And this Aftershocks DLC, again, it really just shores up the one major shortfall the game had, was that the story campaign doesn't doesn't outlive the progression, right? Like the pacing of the progression is a little slower than the story campaign. Now, obviously, going back into it now with the knowledge I have, maybe I wouldn't progress the story so quickly. Maybe I loot a little bit more and things even out. Well, now you don't have to worry about that, because there are new missions. There's more stuff to do after the reserve, and again, it basically just provides a catch-all to so it doesn't matter what pace you play at. In the end, everything lines up perfectly in terms of content versus progression, and I commend them for not only recognizing this, but again, rectifying it free of charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see going into this, if you're going in off your own original save and you just kind of ran through it quickly to get through the end of it and you didn't loot the first time, I can see that you're not going to be able to complete all these missions right away. You may have to go do some of these side missions to get more equipment to get, because this is hard. I mean, so you know, going through the way we did with, you know, basically starting off with 1,000 of everything. You know, you have 1,000 of all your crafting material when we started. So it's easy. You can craft as many bullets as you want, as many weapons and knives. If you don't have that, and you just like I said, you ran through your first game, and you're not built up in your inventory, I can see you're not going to be able to go into some of these missions and get out of them easily. You're going to have to probably go do some of these side missions to get some loot or get some weapons, so you can progress. So that might take you a little bit longer too.
You had 1,000. We have 1,000 crafting materials. I had
Yeah.
all that. I didn't even look at the materials, man. I just fucking jumped in the game and ran,
Oh yeah,
dude.
Roots,
Man.
I went in with a shotgun. I had 400 shells I
Oh,
brought with
wow.
me. So I just went through and started banging everybody with a shotgun the
I
whole way through.
felt so helpless,
exactly what I
guys. I
did.
felt helpless, and I had
Roots is
all
coming in with a
that.
knife. Roots is coming in with one knife. I'm gonna shotgun with 400 shells.
I killed them all. I killed them all
Oh, shit.
brutally,
Damn it.
brutally. So yeah, well, I think the biggest compliment I could pay the DLC is exactly what I said at the top of this thing. I've had access for weeks at this point, and I stopped playing. I stopped playing because I didn't want to spoil it for myself. I want to play this on my save, where these loot caches will matter, and where I can progress the character and the story that I've already invested 15 hours into. So I think that's the best, the best compliment that I could pay this is that I didn't finish it. Like I could have gone on with God mode here with all these weapons and supplies, and I said, you know what? Not this way. I don't want to do it this way. I want the challenge of it, uh, and I want to experience this organically through my my character that I've already invested so much time into.
You couldn't
So
cheat your stream either, man. They've been going this whole journey you've done with them. They need to continue the journey with you.
I agree, and I think that Dark Angel and Wolveraza and Traveling Man and Roy Schwartz, I think they'll all be quite happy to hear that we've got more things to do in this one because they were all witnesses to my brutality and violence um, that came with the original playthrough.
You probably have 10 to 12 hours left, Wes, if you think about it, because you're going to have to go get more stuff. Like Wes or Eric was just saying, it's tough. You're going to need more material. So you're going to have to go. You're going to want to explore these places, every nook and cranny. I'd say 10 to 12 hours, at least 3 or 4 more Wes long streams ahead of you for sure.
Yeah.
Wolveraza in the chat says, wait, there are missions then? Yes. Let me clarify. When we say that there's not like a story continuation, we mean that the original storyline of the game is not really continued through the Aftershocks missions. The original story kind of is kind of a backstory, but there are missions. They're kind of standalone things that you do that that all kind of tie together. But it isn't like like a traditional story DLC where you have a new storyline or uh, it isn't like Borderlands, that have these DLC packs that have their own little story going on to it. There are absolutely missions. It's not just more looting. We already have more looting. This gives that some direction and some variability with everything that they've remixed.
There's collectibles too this time. I mean, there was collectibles last time too, but there's different collectibles this time to find. So if you're into that kind of thing, and I know you are, Wes, that you like to find everything, there are some very, very cool collectibles to find, and I'll give you a little tease. I found a certain backpack that everybody loved from the original trailer.
Oh, you found my unicorn backpack?
Can you use it?
Well, it's not the unicorn one. It's kind of like that one. But it looks
was there like rainbows or unicorns or something on the purple backpack?
Yeah, the purple one. I think it's a panda bear or something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe my memory's a little fuzzy of it.
Yeah,
I
found a backpack. But yeah, there's cool stuff to find. I mean, the safes and stuff like that are still there. There's there's buildings where you have to find multiple keys. There's one building I think that has 3 separate keys that you have the door has 3 keys holes in it, and you have to find 3 separate keys, I think, in different maps, or I'm not exactly sure because I haven't found them all yet, but either in that one map or in different maps, to open whatever it is that's in there. So I mean, it's not just cookie cutter missions. There's things to do in here that I'm ready to go back in and do because I didn't do them all. There's one story arc that I'm hoping continues in my playthrough. I didn't get all the way through it yet either. I got a little bit farther than you guys, but I didn't get all the way through it yet. And there's some kind of creepy dude they call the Skinner, and I don't know what he does. But you hear him in that game. He's reading, like, you hear him through one of those letters that you can read, and he sounds super creepy. And I don't know if he's like a Buffalo Bill kind of Silence of the Lambs guy, but that's what he sounds like. And I'm hoping they continue that a little bit. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get back in on my save, and I've already played quite a bit way through this, and I will be going back on my save, same as US.
Well, I'm glad to hear that there's another big bad that we have to watch out for because you're right. I do like to gather collectibles, but my favorite collectibles reside upon two shoulders. And it's good to know that there's another one out there potentially for me to collect and put on my wall.
The Skinner dude. Oh man,
Yeah, he sounded creepy.
he does sound creepy. Just the name sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Paradise Decay joining the chat says, "Good morning, friends." Good morning, PD. Thanks for coming by and saying hello.
Absolutely.
PD just put a video out. Kenna Bridge of Spirits just released, and I was thinking about getting it for PlayStation, but I think PD may have convinced me to get it on Steam because apparently full geometry 3D in Vorpex for Kenna Bridge of Spirits right now.
I don't have. What is it a puzzle game?
It's a new AAA. No, it's not a puzzle game. It's an action game.
Yeah, I'll have to look at it.
I saw it. It looks pretty good. Epic Store's got it for sale too.
Yeah, it's an Epic exclusive, as a lot of PlayStation games are.
Yeah. Cool.
Anyway, I think that pretty much everything we could say and then some about The Walking Dead Aftershocks. We loved Saints and Sinners. This kind of completes that package. I can't wait to get into it on my own save, and I really can't wait to see what they have in store for the future. So kudos, well done, Skydance Interactive, and keep up the good work. Yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
PD. He says it's not on Steam. It's an Epic exclusive. My bad. Not on Steam. See, this is what they do. The Steam people have brainwashed people into thinking that if it's PC, it's Steam. No. There's Epic out there. There's GOG. There's other platforms as well.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move along and let's talk a little bit about everybody's favorite. All right. We are back. Okay, Synth Riders Muse DLC. Big thank you to Cluj Interactive for providing us each with a copy of this DLC pack. So we're not going to do a full review here of Synth Riders. We have talked about this game time and time again. It's fun. It's one of the best rhythm games in VR, if not the best. Some people would tell you it's the best. And for me, what always sets apart Synth Riders from the other rhythm games is the soundtrack. And, we've received a bunch of these DLCs in the past. But I got to say, I think this might be my favorite one yet. I really enjoyed the music. And it's not that I'm a big Muse fan outside of this game. I'm not. I mean, there's a few songs of theirs that I like. But I've never really been in the Muse or anything. I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed playing these tracks because the music, in my opinion, is just so good. Roots, what did you think about the tracks that were selected to be a part of this DLC pack?
Like you, I didn't know much of Muse. I did Uprising. I've heard that one before the most. The song that you're doing on this experience I've heard before. But I I couldn't believe it. Blew me away. It blew me away so much that I had to go do it a second time to see if maybe, okay, maybe it's because it's new and I thought it was cool. I couldn't believe how, I'm like Eric. Eric before the show was saying, he's starting to feel like this is he's definitely putting this above Beat Saber, which I do as well. And I'm starting to feel like it's better than Audica for me. And I'm starting to look at it as an actual rhythm game, whereas before I didn't see it as a rhythm game as much as I did in this one. And maybe it's just me coming late to the party, but I really enjoyed my time in it, and I wanted to go back in, and I did go into different songs after I played the experience. And you know what I mean? It was out of everything I played that we're talking about tonight, I had the most fun playing this, and that was not what I expected.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because I had similar thoughts when I was playing it, and I'm thinking to myself, man, is this might be better than Audica? Like, this is really good. I really enjoyed these tracks. It's nice to have some legitimate rock music in a rhythm game, um, and it's just fun to play. It's you know, if there was no score being taken, I would have just as much fun with this. And Eric uh, Scion in the chat says that this is more of a dancing game versus the more pure rhythm games. And I don't necessarily disagree with that. We've said that before, that this is more like a dancing game than a rhythm game. But it doesn't really make any difference, does it? Because it's just so fun to do.
Well, okay, here's the thing. I don't like rhythm games. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't. I don't like Beat Saber. I love this game. I don't like Beat Saber. I like Audica, but this has become my number one. I used to be before it was Audica, this, and then Beat Saber. Now this is my favorite rhythm game out there. I even put it over if you want to consider Pistol Whip a rhythm game, which I really kind of don't. But yeah, this is my favorite by far. This beats the shit out of Beat Saber. I don't know how you could even compare it. I don't. Number one, the multiplayer in this alone is 100 times better than Beat Saber. The music is 100 times better than Beat Saber. Beat Saber comes out and they're gonna throw me Skrillex, really, and then they're gonna and then Synth Riders comes out and throws Muse with a 5-song pack with an amazing experience in there. And here's the deal. I'll admit it right now. I had never heard Muse before. I know the band, but I've never heard not one song in their music. 5-song pack. I did every song twice because I liked it so much. Even Madness, which is the last song in the pack, which is a slower song, and I'm like, started out, I'm like, this kind of doesn't work with the mapping. I got halfway through, I'm like, this might be my favorite song now. That's how
Yeah.
they drag you in with the mapping and the way they do it. It was perfect. And then the experience and what was it? Uprising. Uprising's amazing. I love this song. Like I said, I've never heard it before, but I love it, and I just want to keep playing it. I mean, this is great. Don't give me Skrillex. Give me this. This is amazing.
Yeah, I think Uprising might have been my favorite, and I think they're getting better at these beat maps. They were always good at them, but it seems like now, like again, if this wasn't being scored at all, it would be just as fun for me. Like I could care less what I'm scoring. It just feels good with the haptic feedback and the awesome tunes. It's just fun to do. Um, Eric, now PD in the chat says that he liked 3 out of the 5 songs, and I've heard other people say that as well. But this was not my experience. Like I enjoyed every song, and even the last one, like you said, um, it's a bit of a slower pace, but subsequently it was the one I scored the best on, and it was a well needed break at that point because I went through them in order, and I was starting to get a little bit tired by the time I got to that one. I was happy to have a slower pace one. What did you think about the DLC pack specifically? No, outside of the context, is this is an awesome rhythm game. Yeah, we know that already. Specifically though, these 5 songs, how do they stack up to some of like the other uh DLC packs that we've seen from Synth Riders in the past?
I think it's the best one so far. I mean, and I like Caravan Palace. Caravan Palace was cool. The experience in that one was cool. This is by far for me the best one. And like I said, I had no knowledge of Muse before I got into and do this. And I've tried every music pack they have. I was nice enough to be able to get some stuff from Kluge as well. So thank you very much. And I've tried them all, and this is by far my favorite. The maps are great. The way you're moving through is fast. The way they keep you, again, the mapping with the way they keep you moving. Beat Saber has nothing on this game for movement. You are not moving anywhere near as much in Beat Saber. You're moving your arms in Beat Saber. Let's get real. You're slicing blocks. You're actually moving in this game. And if you want to call it dancing, call it dancing. I don't care what you call it. I call it awesome. That's what I call it.
Yeah, I agree. For me, it comes down to this pack, and then they had another pack that had like Offspring and Pennywise and bands that I actually do listen to outside of this game, like Muse. Most of my experience with Muse comes from Synth Riders. Offspring, Pennywise, these bands, Rancid. These are bands that I listened to, when I was in high school. So, it would come down to those two packs for me. But I was thinking when I was playing this, uh, the beat maps are done well in this. That this might be the best that they've given us yet. Now, Dark Angel in the chat says that. Let me find it again. I lost it here. She says the Muse pack is pretty bomb. I kind of wish they had the Ultra experience for all of the songs. And I kind of feel the same way here, Roots. Like for me, whenever we get one of these packs, the highlight for me always is the experience, which is unscored, and it's just all about the audio visual show that's going on around you as you play the game as you normally would. Um, how did you feel about the experience in this one?
That's what blew me away. I mean, like you said, the other ones have been amazing, but not as good. So much so that like when I first initially played the first one, or this one, the experience, I wanted to go and try another one. I thought, okay, well, let me go back and compare it to the other ones. And I started looking at them and remembering, and I was like, I want to try this one again. Really, the space thing, the way that when you're hitting the double notes, it's flashing and it's doing a different note sound, and the planets, man, like everything about this, it was like one more thing after the next, and I'm like, just like, fuck, man, this is crazy, so cool. Like I don't walk away from many things in VR anymore just thinking, wow, that was super cool. That's how I feel about this, and I would love every track to have an experience. The only good saving grace is we're down the road now. If you've picked up the packs, which I definitely recommend getting them all for the experiences alone, you've got a good collection of experiences now. In the beginning there was one or two, three. Now we're stacking them up. Now you've got quite a bit, and I would imagine as much content as they're putting out eventually you're going to have tons of experience. But maybe that's something they could do down the road, is just bring more experiences to every track. That would be awesome.
What I would like to see from them, I think that they should allow competition in the experiences, because the feeling I get when I'm playing through these experiences and I'm trying to follow the beat map while all of this crazy, beautiful stuff's going on around me, is kind of the same feeling I get when I'm playing like a Tetris Effect or a Polybius. It's hard to focus on the beat map with all this going on around you. It becomes kind of a game of focus. And I feel like that would be an added degree of difficulty to the already fun Synth Riders game. So I think that they should have more of these experiences. And not only that, I think they should unlock the leaderboards for them and allow them to be scored experiences. Now, if you want to play them as a pure experience, then fine, you should have the option to do that. Or let's say maybe you have to play through it once with no scoring before you unlock it as a scored level. But I think that the added difficulty that a spectacle like this would bring to the game would allow for more fun. And I haven't played much of the multiplayer, but I got to imagine if you could add these tracks into the multiplayer, with the experience intact, that would be an amazing experience to share with friends as well. Um, Eric, what say you? Do you think that these should be unlocked for competitive play, or do you think that they should be preserved as art pieces like they are right now?
I think you had the perfect thing. Make everybody do it once as an experience only, and then once you do, it goes to part of the multiplayer. So or just the leaderboard where they score it. So why not? And it's easy for them to do that. They don't have to do much. So yeah,
Right.
and I think they probably will. But my biggest takeaway from this is to listen to Roots because I mean we've talked about this game a lot. Roots really didn't. He wasn't in love with this game before. He was
I
like,
did
he's like, it's
this.
okay.
I
Yeah, he's
said,
like,
you're
this,
just doing
yeah.
this. I
He's
was
like, yeah, you're
literally.
just doing this. He's like, that's okay. And and Roots has been a huge Audica fan. So for him to even put it, I mean, I think you probably still are a bigger Audica fan, right? But I mean, this just for you to push, man.
Yeah.
And that just to go to show you how they keep progressing this game and how it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, I agree. That's amazing.
I like the game, Audica. I like the mechanics of the gameplay. Probably a little better than Synth Riders, but the soundtrack for Synth Riders is so much better than Audica. It
Yeah.
kind of it kind of puts it on an even ground, if not a little bit ahead of Audica for me. It's been a long time since I played Audica. I really need to get back into it, and I mean, I'm sure they've updated that game as well since I've been in there.
And
Yeah.
let me ask you guys a question. If this game launched before Beat Saber, so if there was no Beat Saber and this game came out first, do you think this would be Beat Saber? Because maybe my opinion of this is probably the unpopular opinion, right? Beat Saber is a beloved game; everybody loves it. So just by sales alone, it beats Synth Riders. But is it because it has Oculus backing or Facebook backing, or is it because it came out first? Do you think if this came out first, it would be this and then Beat Saber?
Uh, I think what Beat Saber had going for it initially, even in addition to the fact that like most rhythm games, it's easy to pick up and it's fun to play. Um, I think that the sabers themselves have a certain significance in pop culture due to the Star Wars films, and I think that that's what made them, uh, as commercially viable as they were when VR was new and people were looking for that one thing to latch onto. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this would have been as well received as Beat Saber had it come first. But it's certainly possible because, again, like you say, it's funner to play. So even if it doesn't have, laser swords in it, uh, people still may have taken to it quite funnily. It's amazing that Synth Riders gets the attention that it does because at the time that Synth Riders released, people already kind of had rhythm game fatigue. People were pretty much done with rhythm games, and then this one came out, and it's just through sheer quality and word of mouth that this game has gone on to garner the following that it has now. It's a testament to how good the game is that it was able to be successful at the time that it hit the market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, again, I don't want to get into another full review of Synth Riders. We've talked about it probably more than any other game, with the exception of The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. So, I think it's, two thumbs up and a recommend from all of us in regards to this DLC pack. It might be the tracks, but the beat maps as well. I really enjoyed playing this and I had a lot of fun with it.
It's not only that. I think one of the things too that we forget. I mean, because I think that the lightsabers are huge. Like you said, it was the optics of just how cool it looked. But there was a marketing push behind that on Facebook and social media, like nothing we'd ever seen in VR, right? And like everybody that had seen the videos, the mixed reality videos of Beat Saber, right, all over Facebook. Facebook marketed it really well, and so when it got to the point where everybody knew what it was, even now when I bring it up, they're like, "Oh yeah, that lightsaber thing," you know. Even if they've never played it, they've seen the video, they've seen the videos going through social media. So I think that had a big thing to do with it as well.
Yeah, I agree. It was the right game at the right time, and it was marketed correctly. For the longest time, it was a unicorn in the VR marketplace, and since then, we've started to see some some other studios get a clue with how things are done, but it still remains one of the most popular games in VR for a reason. Despite the fact that there are funner games with better soundtracks out there, so
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yep.
I love Beat Saber. I love Beat Saber. I'll go right back to it. Love it. Skrillex is the best.
I think I'll be if we're gonna do that, then I think I'll be playing Pistol Whip first
Audio
because
trip.
Audio trip. There you go.
right.
Smash drums.
We need to do another episode of why we need more rhythm games. Remember that episode we did why we need more rhythm games, and we listed all those
The good
Beat Saber
ones.
clones.
Yeah,
and,
those are the good ones.
Really good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, kudos, Clues Interactive. Well done as always. Give us more experiences and let us be able to play them competitively. That's what we need from you next. Por favor. PD in the chat says Beat Saber was a unicorn. Synth Riders is a pink unicorn that farts rainbows.
That's true.
Who doesn't
think I
fart
saw-
rainbows?
I think I
2021.
saw that on a backpack once.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, that will bring us to our third and final title this week. And this is an interesting one, guys. Rhythm of the Universe Ionia is releasing tomorrow from Rotu Entertainment. Big thank you to them as well for providing us with review access. Now, a couple things off the top with this one. This is a review of the Steam version of Rhythm of the Universe Ionia. This game is coming to PlayStation VR, supposedly. It's coming to Oculus Quest, supposedly. But I want to make it very clear right off the top here that we are reviewing the Steam version of this because, quite frankly, Ruuts, I don't think there's any chance that either of those other two platforms can reproduce anything near the experience that we had on PC with this one. What do you think?
No, especially that opening scene when you walk out and there's all the dinosaur creatures or whatever you want to call them. I guess alien dinosaurs, right? Roaming around and totally cool, right?
Yeah. This is a beautiful fantasy universe. It is an audio centric fantasy experience with some light puzzling, which were all sound based, and emphasis on the storytelling. It's a borderline walking simulator, but I mean, there's some other stuff you do in there. Again, there's a few puzzles and some climbing in here as well, but that's not really what this thing is all about. This thing is about the story and it's about the production. And Eric, honestly, and cards on the table, I'm running an RTX 3080 with i9 9900K, 32 gigabytes of RAM. I have a beast of a machine. But with that said, I can't think of any other games that I have played in VR that look better than this game looks. I mean, I was absolutely jaw on the ground, stunned, not only with how good this game looks, but how good it sounds as well.
Yeah, I mean, stunned is a good word because it's stunning. I mean, some of these opening sequences, you can kind of see them in the trailer here, or this Roots is your playthrough here.
No, that's not
Okay,
mine.
the trailer. When you walk out onto there's a balcony scene here where you walk out onto the balcony and you overlook the valley. It's probably one of the coolest moments I've had in VR because it looks that good and it looks that cool. I'm running a decent system as well. I'm running a 2080 Super with an i9 9700, so it's not terrible. I got a good system, not anywhere near yours, but and I ran mine on the Quest 2, through link cable. So it looked amazing. It looked unbelievable. This is probably, I think you're right. I think this is probably, looks wise, it's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. And it gives you those jaw dropping moments that you look for in VR, right? You look for these moments that make you go, wow, this is amazing. And you get it right off the bat in this game right away. And it continues. I haven't finished the game, but from what I've seen so far, it continues to impress all the way through.
Yeah, it actually it grows. The scenes become even grander and more breathtaking as the thing builds toward the finale. It's very reminiscent of a game like Heart of the Emberstone, the Gallery Episode 2. It's that level of graphical quality and that same kind of fantasy universe and alien landscape. Roots almost got the feeling like this was something that was meant for location based. Like this felt like something uh, in terms of graphics and sound that you would maybe play at like Disneyland or something, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Definitely, production values were off the charts. And from what I'm hearing, I mean, that the what we played is a little bit different from what we're they just patched some of the issues that were in there. That it's the only thing that I had problems with was movement wise. Like everything else was great, and I'm glad that they're working on the movement. But I need to get back in there because I need to get as far as you've got. You said that Mash, you were saying Nick's played through most of it, and he's almost to what, almost 3 hours, 2.5 hours in or something.
Yeah, Nick got a review copy with me for the Steam version, and he's done it on two separate plays. He's done about 40 minutes the first time, and maybe about 50 minutes the second time. And you know, same words for him. He said it's a badass cinematic experience was his quote.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just get right into the not so good things about it then. Master, you said that you haven't finished it yet. Let me tell you, without knowing where you're at, you're close to the end. And the reason why I can say that is because when you start the game, you're close to the end. It does not take very long to play through this. It is not long at all. I would say on a first playthrough, 90 minutes, 2 hours being generous. Um, After you know how to navigate the puzzles, I mean, you can play through it in less than an hour. So it is not long. I would call it a 90-minute experience for the first time that you play through it, um, which isn't great. But again, I mean, most movies are about that long. They're about 90 minutes. So really, I think when it comes down to the length, we have to note that this is supposedly episodic. And I would also point out that we don't know how much this thing costs yet, do we?
Mm-mm. No, that's my question. Is like, what is the cost, and is the episodes going to be free if down the road? Are they going to be like $10 a piece? There's so many things. My questions, because we've been scouring. Eric was looking for almost an hour just to find out what the cost is, and we won't know till tomorrow. I guess. My guess, my gut feeling is $30, $29.95. I'd be shocked if it's not that price, or And Eric, you're shaking your head. You don't think that's the right price?
No, no. I think it's very possible. I just think if they do, it's not good. If
People are
they
going to
charge,
refund it.
dude, if
People are
they
going to
charge,
refund it.
yeah, if they charge $30, you could play through this thing before the refund window's up, literally, and then you just return the game. I mean, I don't. I mean, I
Right.
think you're right. I'm shaking my head because I just pray to God it's not. I don't want to. It's a beautiful game. I don't want to see it fail that way.
Right. And people might actually keep it if it's priced fairly because this game does have value as a showpiece. Like, if you put a newbie into this, uh, it's going to drop their jaw. I mean, I've been playing VR pretty much from the start of VR, and it dropped my jaw, blah 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 blah, dropped my jaw on the ground with just how beautiful it was. And again, they're telling a story here, and they're doing a very good job of it. The voice acting was really good in it. I mean, it was pretty much like an interactive fantasy movie. All of you people out there who are pining away for Avatar VR, I mean, this is kind of what we got here.
Traveling Man is asking if there's any Quest footage. I was just saying that we were looking at the footage earlier, right on the Quest page, and about halfway through, Wes said it switches to Quest footage, and actually looks pretty good. Which, like you said, your computer is running. I guess as amazing as it looks, that doesn't mean that it's not going to run good on a Quest. It just means that it's very highly optimized, right? So.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised. So if you do go to the Oculus Quest store and search this game and bring up the Quest page for it and start watching the trailer starts with PC footage. And you get a little bit concerned because I'm very skeptical about what they're going to be able to do with something like this on standalone hardware. But about halfway through the trailer, they do switch over to some Quest 2 footage, and I got to admit, I mean, it looks pretty good for a standalone. Like, it's impressive if it looks like that and runs well on a standalone device. I don't think people are going to be too disappointed. I mean, it might not be the awe-inspiring experience that you have on PC, but it looks very good. Well, at least the footage that they've shown so far looks pretty good. All right, and then that brings us to really the big negative, the length of the game. Not the big negative here. For me, the biggest negative with this, and I know it's the same for you guys, was the movement and interactions in the game. You guys are saying controls, but really it's not the control scheme so much. I mean, the scheme's set up sufficient for the most part, but the movement and interactions in the game still they don't seem done. They seem like they're not finished yet. There's no smooth turning. First of all, I don't know how a game in 2021 launches without smooth turning, but besides that, like um Roots, it's extremely obvious that even though they give you um smooth locomotion in this game was designed as a teleport game. Like, even though there's smooth locomotion in this game, I don't really recommend anybody even use it. That it's much better as a teleport experience, and it pains me to say that. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like you were saying, which usually this is the opposite. For whatever reasons, the smooth locomotion, allows you to get to areas you're not supposed to be in. Usually, you teleport to areas you're not supposed to be in. It's the opposite, right? So I found myself in areas where I would walk in, and then I would start to try to look around, and the screen would go black, and if I just move my head a little bit up, it would go out, and I'd be like, oh god, I have to push it down. Felt very claustrophobic, so I had to like move myself out. And so I don't know that whatever's going on there um should be fixed, because it was very annoying in that respect, right? And then like you said, the just the turning, the smooth turn. Not only that, but the snap turn. I guess they fixed it now, but what we played was a little bit disjointing. But having smooth turn would be really amazing, because I just it's 2021. I love smooth turn. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that smooth turning would be a big, sorry, excuse me, a big improvement for the controls. You are relegated to snap turning, and the increment never feels quite right. Like, the 45 degrees seems like it's just not enough, and the 60 degrees seems like it's a little bit too much. It always seems like you're never quite facing where you want to be facing. And furthermore, to complicate the matter, uh, the the stick you use to turn is also the stick that you use to teleport, and the teleport's on a hair trigger. So if if you're not absolutely perfect with your stick movement, you're going to accidentally teleport when you don't mean to, which can break some of the cinema sequences in the game. Eric, did you experience this at all, where like you would accidentally teleport right as the cinema sequence starts, and then it locks you in place, but your character isn't where it's supposed to be. So, like the secondary character, who's supposed to be looking directly at you, talking, is looking off in another direction.
Yeah, it gets all disjointed, right? Yeah, there's a couple things with this game that I it's tough to figure out. And first off, is yeah, the controls are just weird. And here's the deal: you don't have a lot going on in this game other than story and your movement. So you really need to get the movement right, because it's the story, it's the visuals, but the movement is mainly what you're doing here. It's mainly an exploration game with a few puzzle elements in there. So you have to have the exploration part right, which is the movement. So yeah, it's a little confusing there. And again, the smooth turn. This is how are we 2021 with VR and we don't have an option for smooth turn? And you're right. If you touch that stick at all, I mean, if you even just hit it, you are going to move yourself. And like you said, if you do it near a cutscene, all of a sudden everything becomes disjointed and nothing lines up anymore. It's just weird, you know. And then the other
Yeah,
thing I need to know is I need to know a price. I need to know a price in this game. I need to know a price, and I need to know what it's going to look like on the Quest, because if it's a cinematic experience, you need to know what it's going to look like.
and with regards to the teleport being mapped to the same thumbstick as the turning, it's not like the A and B buttons are mapped for something else. Like, you don't use those buttons for anything. They could put teleport anywhere else, but for some reason they've crammed all of this different functionality into like one interface, and it it steps on its own toes a lot. Furthermore, I've recommended people teleport over smooth locomotion, because it seems like the smooth locomotion in certain uh, sequences actually breaks the game. I mean, as any game does, this game has boundaries. There's places you can go, there's places you can not go, and the easy way to tell where you're not supposed to go is by attempting to teleport there. If you point your teleport at some place that's off limits, it'll turn red and it won't let you teleport. But for some reason, uh, using the smooth locomotion, you can walk anywhere. For example, there are steps in these ruins that you're exploring. You teleport to the top of them or you teleport down. If you try to walk up the steps, you'll just walk through the steps and into the staircase. You'll be standing there. And this not only is the case for the steps, but any kind of pedestal or anything that you have to step up onto, if you use smooth locomotion to move to it, you'll just move through it. You won't go up on top of it at all. And I mean, there were places that I got stuck. I mean, there was even one case um, where I dropped completely through the floor into the upside down, and like I fell and I was falling, and then I could tell I was falling through like another part of the game, and then I fell through that, and ended up in like the abandoned desert down there, and I had to restart back to the main menu, which kind of sucked because there's no like autosave or anything. There's chapters, but I had to start the chapter all over because of that.
It's like
And
it's like they put the A team on the visuals and you know, and how beautiful it looks, and they hired some furniture movers to come in and do the controls.
I
right,
forgot about that, the falling through the earth thing, Wes, because that happened to me, and that's literally when I
Yeah,
stopped playing. I was
yeah,
like,
same here.
okay, I'm done. I'm moving on to Synth Riders. Because I as amazing as it was, I don't like repetition, especially if it's something I just went through and I in my mind it's like, okay, I'm probably gonna have to go through the whole thing again. And that wasn't gonna happen. So hopefully they fix that because if I guess if you're hearing anything from anything we're saying right now, just don't use locomotion. Um, at this
Right.
point, teleport because it's just not worth it until they fix it. It's just not it's not a good experience locomotion wise.
Yeah, I think this game would actually be very enjoyable if they would just do away with the free locomotion, make it teleport only, put the teleport on the left stick, and then add a smooth turn so that you can face exactly where you want to face. If they did just that, this game would be very playable. I mean, it's playable anyway, but I mean, it would be, we wouldn't be sitting here complaining about the controls. Um, but the way it is now, it seems to me like they're releasing it a month too early. And that's unfortunate because, like we said, from a production and storytelling standpoint, this uh, this game is in rare air. Like there aren't many on this level, and you know, for me, it's an easy recommend if it's priced fairly, just based on the quality of the experience. If it weren't for all of this jank in the movement and the interactions, um, so yeah, I think it's unfortunate. I think that as we often mention here, you only get one chance to make a first impression. And I think if they launch this game tomorrow in the state that it's in now, with that said, it could be patched at launch. This is a beta version, admittedly. So maybe they patch it at launch. Maybe these issues aren't present. But I think that if this is what they've got right now, that they'd be better off delaying it for a month, getting this stuff lined out, and then launching one of the most amazing experiences that we have in VR.
What do you think's fair? About $20 is what I would say. It would be a real sweet spot for price wise, right?
Yeah, that's where I would put it. I would put it at $20, but obviously a lot of work's gone into it, and notably a portion of the proceeds are going to go to charity. So I mean, even at 25, if they fix it, maybe I wouldn't be so mad about it being 25, but 20s are right around where I would like to see it at right now as it stands. Um, what about you, Eric? What do you think pricing wise?
$15.99. 2 hours,
15.99.
$15.99. Two
Yep.
hours. Here's the deal too. The story's amazing. We really haven't touched on the story. The backstory and just learning about this whole thing is really, really good. I just want more. You want more of it.
Yeah.
It's just not enough. If they come out at 20 or 25, 20, I guess 20. I could live with 20. They come out anything over 20. If they go $25 or $30,
What
just
about
don't see how
what
people are
about
gonna be happy with
30?
this.
What about 30 with the understanding that all of the episodes are included? No, no more money down the road.
Yeah, that makes a difference, right? But you gotta tell people that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like this, man. It depends on how many more episodes are coming. I'll tell you right now, if they fix the movement and interaction issues, and let's say they were bringing a 15-hour story campaign, the story is so good in this, and the production values are so high. I'd pay 50 or $60 for a full 15-hour campaign that's on this level with good movement, with good controls. So $20, I think seems. Yeah, I
Close,
get it. It's short.
close,
It's
close.
close. It's close. But I hope they don't price it according to the work that they've put into it, because as we've seen recently with other titles, you can price yourself out of the market, and then it doesn't matter how much you make from each copy when nobody buys it, or everyone that buys it ends up refunding it.
Well, then you're cannibalizing your price a month, 2 months, 3 months down the road, and we're like, man, this thing's only $5 now, or $10, we've seen it with so many games. So
It's unfortunate that this game goes down that path because it is that pretty. I mean, this is a beautiful game and the story is amazing. I would just hate to see it go down that path and just overprice itself to where nobody wants it. Because I want to see the rest of it, and I guarantee if this game tanks, I don't know if they would put any more out.
Yeah, obviously a
There's
lot of
no
work.
guarantee they will, right?
true.
Obviously, a lot of work went into this,
Yeah.
and I mean, I don't even think you guys saw the best part of it. It's so beautiful. Like, did you guys make it? I know you didn't, Roots. You just quit right before the thing takes off.
The game
Did you
quit
make
on
it?
me. I fell through the earth.
Right. Eric, did you make it to the ocarinas when you had to save the sick ocarina?
I did not. I did not get that far. I was about
Uh,
probably 45 minutes to an hour in, I think.
You have to find these berries to feed it to make it better. And these things were just amazing looking. They're like grapes, but they're like the size of a cantaloupe or something. They're glowing red, but it's only the pit of it that glows. The outside of it's like translucent. And I mean, it looked so real sitting there holding those big giant berries in your hand. Um, Man, there's still a lot for you to see that you haven't seen yet.
Did you
Uh,
play it on your G2, Wes?
I tried to play it on the G2 initially, but the controller bindings did not work. You think you have bad controls with the Oculus? How about on the G2? When you push right, you move left. When you
Ooh,
push left, you move right.
Oh,
Like
that actually sounds interesting and fun. Dark Angel says she's throwing a $2 jank bonus out there for you, which kind of fits right in there, right?
yeah, it's perfect. Thank you, Dark Angel. That's the most fitting bonus that you've ever given. There's certainly some jank here with regards to the gameplay.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know
There's a
who
lot.
else has a lot for you to see, says Dark Angel.
My mom!
Yeah, she does.
Traveling Man 3775 says it again, and we can't emphasize this enough. A percentage of the sales go to charity. And with that being said, I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but anyone who manages to play all the way through this and roll credits on it, you will experience a cameo from a celebrity. Now,
Uh,
maybe a B-list celebrity, not an A-lister, but it's someone who you'll recognize, and they have a little message for you about this charity that you will be supporting by purchasing this game.
oh, good. Well, it's good they give it at the end and not the beginning. You know how horrible would it be if you supported something and at the end they tell you you supported something, you're like, oh God, I don't
I didn't
agree with
mean to.
that at all. I mean, who doesn't agree
Yeah.
with saving the environment? I mean, really. But
Right.
Hmm.
Scion VR in chat says my headset doesn't lag. It's as smooth as butter on my PC. Well, it's easy for a PC to run a headset that has 5 pixels on the screen. Scion, let's not kid ourselves here. Modern headsets are a little bit more resource intensive.
the CV1's got all those USB ports that they got to use for all the sensors you got to plug in everywhere,
Right,
right?
right. Anyway, anything left to say about this one, man? It is the best of times. It is the worst of times. Like, I don't think there could be more of a contrast between production and gameplay. I don't think I've ever seen such a contrast like this.
Yeah, I'm just so torn in this game. I just don't know where to go with it. You know what I mean? I want it to be great. It looks beautiful. I just don't know. And without knowing some of these factors that we just don't know yet, um, I just don't know where to be. This is a weird. I don't know if I've ever felt this way about a game before because I just don't know I don't know where I want to be. I mean, I want to root for this game because it is that cool. And the story, I want to see the ending. I'm going to go back and finish it because I want to see the ending. I want to see some of these cool things that Nick and that Wes saw, and I know who is at the end, and I want to go see that. I want to see see what they're saying and who it is. And I get a lot of Pandora vibes from this. The world of Avatar. I mean, it looks kind of like that, and there's a lot of cool things in that I love about that movie too. So, you know, I'm gonna root for it. That's the best thing I can say. I'm rooting for this game. I really am.
Yeah, yeah, me too. I mean, there's so much potential here, right? I mean, if this thing comes out with even a 5-hour campaign and controls that work well, I mean, we're talking, in the game of the year discussion, right? But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah. No, not the way that it released. Scion says we're being double standard with the PSVR versus Rift CV1. Yeah.
Hey, listen, why you bringing PSVR into the conversation, man? I just noticed you going a little hard in the paint on my man Wolveraza there, and talking about how awesome your PC runs. I just thought that it would be worth noting that all of the variables in this equation are not equal. Like you're not running the same headset. So
That's true. Not even close as
Yeah.
far as spec wise, right?
Yeah. Do you think they heard anything we said the last 20 minutes?
probably not. Probably not.
They're going to town in there.
Anyway, I think it's going to wrap up our show for this week. I want to thank everyone who forewent sleeping to hear what we think about these awesome new releases. For the record, guys, we really liked Rhythm of the Universe Ionia. Maybe it sounded a little bit negative because there was a lot of stuff to criticize it on, but I think there's a lot of potential here. And, again, it's a beta version. Maybe the launch version's better. Maybe it is polished. I hope so, because again, so much potential here. Such a beautiful experience. I played all the way through it and I'll do it again. I can tell you definitively, I will play this again. Probably do it on a stream sometime soon after everyone's had a chance to purchase it and experience it for themselves. So, again, 3 titles reviewed this week. All 3 were very enjoyable, and all 3 recommend, pending pricing information that we don't have yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're still going in there in the chat. And tracking is better on the CV1 than the Quest 2.
Yeah.
So Scion, he immediately, we're talking about performance of PC VR headsets, and he goes PSVR, he goes tracking, he goes everywhere else once we bring up which headset he's using.
Well, he's going to be using the Index 2 soon, and he'll have a 3080, and then he'll be better than me.
Soon, right? Coming soon.
Yeah.
No, we love you, Scion. We're just
Absolutely.
trolling you the way that you're trolling everybody right now. We're just playing the game, bro. Anyway, if you like the episode, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, of course, hit the button, hit the bell, click all the stuff. Clicks help. Like people talk about comments help, and this, that, and the other thing helps. You know what really helps? Clicking the stuff. It's just a click, and then we get to grow, because when you click things, our number increases by 1. So please click all the things. If you've already clicked all the things and you always click and you want to do something more, how about giving us $3 per month to our Patreon? And it's a two-way street. It's not just you giving us the $3 per month. We're giving you things as well, like weekly show notes, which read like a newsletter. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but over the last couple of months, I've put a little bit more into the show notes than what we just need to do the show, right? I'm putting extra videos in there. I'm making sure to link all the headlines. I'm making it something that's worth reading. So if you don't want to go to Upload or Road to VR every day and keep up with all this stuff, you don't have to. You can just read the show notes and link to the stories right there. No searching involved. Videos to demonstrate everything we talk about. And that's just the show notes. That's not to mention the exclusive content you get, which is generally in the form of gameplays, either from myself or from Ruuts. But that stuff's been coming, quite frequently here lately, and it is going to continue into the future. So again, you get all that and more for only $3, and of course, eternal gratitude for those of you who already support us in
Patreon,
that way.
Patreon is so good that I have access to it, and I'm still paying for it because it's that good, guys.
There you go. There
That
you go.
good.
Eric's in this hybrid role now of guest host and patron. So like he's getting the best of both worlds.
He's the only one that was there the whole 2020 show doing the deliberation, right? He stayed the whole time.
That's right. That's right. When Eric was
with COVID.
Yeah.
right. I forgot about that. Eric was battling COVID and sit through
Quarantine.
the entire 2020 show selection ceremony. It's event, meetup, whatever you want to call it. We went to big screen and decided who the winners were.
It was fun.
He toughed it out.
It was fun.
Last but not least, Discord, right? I mean, maybe you want to have some kind of say in what happens on the 2021 show. Well, that all starts on the Discord. That as well as many other things like multiplayer games start on the Discord. Conversations start on the Discord. Arguments like the one Scion and Wolveraz is having in the chat right now start on the Discord. So again, we're all one big happy family. We all live in the same house. That house is called the Virtual Strangers Discord server, and the front door is in the description below, and it is wide open always. So step on in, take your shoes off. Dinner's almost ready. Yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, come over to the Oculus Quest 2 group and give Mash a hard time for not matching my shirt today. I really thought we were matching, man.
I know, man. I can't.
Oh.
Such a missed opportunity. You know who should come to the Oculus Quest 2 community? Because I would welcome him with open arms. Scion, come on, buddy.
Yeah, Scion.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Scion would get banned within a week on that community.
That's true.
It would be Facebook banning him, not us.
No, yeah, no.
That's true. That's true.
Anyway, with that said, friends, we'd like to thank you all once again for watching. For Ruuts, I'm Wes and Eric.
Somewhere over
Sorry,
there.
man. It's I'm wired. I'm
Wait.
still trying to fix all this stuff in there. Anyway, thanks again, friends. We'll see you tomorrow. Clash of Chefs. Bye now.
Take it easy.
See you later.